When I sit down to write, it's all about practice for me. I've been writing for a very long time, and I've taken different approaches over the years. Sometimes I have an idea that's ringing in my head that I need to write down. Sometimes I'm just sitting down for a practice session to write about something that I can observe at the moment. In this case, I'd been practicing choruses, and I had a book kind of full of titles, just scattered titles here and there. And when I heard the music for this song, I knew this is the one I wanted to be using for Cyclone City. What I did first was just work out the placement of the hook. So Cyclone City being the title was also going to be the hook of the song. And I wanted an 8-bar chorus. So I just wanted to work out on paper where I was going to place that chorus. Once I had it in position, feeling like this is where I want it, this is where I think it can work, then it was just a matter of filling in what details did I want in that chorus. At first, there was too much detail in those in-between lines. There was just too much going on. I liked it on paper, but once I got to the recording stage and I recorded a demo of it to hear it back through my ears, I wasn't convinced. Just didn't feel right in the chorus. So this was a combination of writing down the ideas first and then stripping it back, listening to the music more and feeling what the music wanted, trying to hear what was within the music that was trying to emerge. So I approach it all different types of ways. So I'm usually up before sunrise and I like to make coffee and just sit in my lounge, whether I'm reading or writing. I'm doing some form of practice. And that's where I do a lot of my writing. At least in the initial phase, like I'll get a lot of ideas coming to me at those early hours. All kinds of different creative projects come to mind at that sort of hour. When it's a song that might be taking shape, I'll carry that idea with me. Sometimes extra ideas come when I'm driving in the car. So I'll, write something down at a red light. And then if I've got music that I'm working on with it as well, I'll bring it to the studio here and I'll sit with it open and just play the track, and I'll put the mic up and I'll start to say some lines that I have written down already and then just try to hear what needs to come next. And sometimes, it might be a session, might be an hour or two session in here with the music, and I'll come out, have 3 or 4 lines done. Sometimes a slow process. It's not something that I can do in one session necessarily. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you write a song and it's over before you know it, and you think, what do I need to fix here? What do I need to change? And nothing really. It's just one of those moments. But when it comes to process, which is what I'm really about, is it's practice, it's process, it's journey. I believe that we become what we repeatedly do. I talk with some people and they say, I'd really like to do such and such one day. And I just think to myself, well, start doing something, small steps towards that, because then instead of that's something I want to do one day, it's just becomes something I do. And so I'm a writer. I write, and it's a part of my daily rhythm. But whether I'm writing a whole page or a whole song or one line or a couple of words, doesn't really matter to me. It's part of the process. It's part of the practice.
Dead set, Dad just stood there and shook his head. I grabbed a Pepsi from the esky, sat on the step and looked down at the ground after what he'd just said.
Writing definitely comes more natural to me in the morning, early morning. I like to wake up well before the sunrise. There's something about that time of day for me where I feel like I'm getting a head start. I feel like while everybody else is sleeping, I'm catching the day before it begins. That's just my way of processing it. Just that mindset puts me in a creative space where I like to make things or imagineer things, where concepts will come and I start to try and develop them and flesh them out. Whatever's in my lane, if it's something that suits the rhythm of my life, I want to work on that. So definitely when I'm writing, it's usually, the bulk of it is usually getting done in the early hours of the day for me. This song took time to uncover. Like I said, I had a full chorus written that I liked on paper, but I didn't quite sit well with it once I'd recorded a demo version of it. And so I stripped it back and just sat with it. Sometimes that's what I do. I just have to sit with something long enough for it to show itself, long enough for it to emerge as what it wants to be. So this took some time, putting together the chorus. By the time I had the chorus and it was in a recorded demo form that I was really happy with, might have been a few weeks. When it comes to the title, that was 20 plus years I've carried that with me. But it just became a song now because its time was ready. Some things take time, some things come quick, but I just always come back to the fact that it's a process, it's a practice, it's what I do. In the verses, I took a more observational approach to the writing, to the lyrics. The chorus is naming the song. It's also naming the city, the town that I live in. It's big picture. It's zoomed out. It's like the broad view and the broad feeling. But in the verses, I wanted to zoom right in real close and put sensory details into the verses, into my writing and the lines. I wanted things that you could feel, hear, taste, touch, smell.
When the tops of the mango trees start swaying side to side, skies darken and I know it's getting real, and my brothers are like, long as we got iced coffee and salty plums.
When I read things like this, or when I hear lyrics like this, that creates an experience for me. I relate to it because it's concrete. There's images and things that are tangible that I've experienced in some form or other, or I can imagine experiencing it because they're concrete items or concrete experiences, and they're very sensory, and it creates an experience within me. So that's what I was trying to recreate with the verses. So I zoomed in and included some of those smaller details that hopefully people can relate to, being sensory items and concrete things. I also wanted to try to create images or visual scenes within the verses. I love it when I hear musicians say something and a little movie plays in my head. Like I hear what they say and I see it play out in my head. It's amazing how they can do that. I love it. So I guess that's what I wanted to try and recreate in my own way as well, is some visual imagery or a sense of something unfolding visually for the listener in the verses with all those details.
This rain pours, making rivers on our lawn, and our washing's piled high because it's never gonna dry.
Initially, when I sit down to write, I don't have any music playing. I have silence. I may have like some quiet instrumental jazz playing in the background, but it's not intrusive. I like that morning silence, sipping coffee, basically just sitting alone with my thoughts and the natural sounds around me. That's when I feel most clear to write and fresh to write new ideas and concepts. So I don't start by looping the music over and over again. I used to pretty much hypnotize myself with the music before any lines would start to come out. I just don't do that anymore. I think it through first in a way that's different, and then I bring it to the music, and I let the two meld together in the best way that I can. I don't have time to sit and repeat songs over and over and over again to the point that I'm hypnotized. Like it's cool, but my life rhythm doesn't really support that kind of operating. So, there are times where I'll play something on loop in the car when I'm driving just to get a real feel for it. But when it comes to actually writing, and the concept of this song was pretty clear in my mind what I wanted, I prefer silence. I prefer the clarity that brings, and I can hear myself think. The kind of things that inspire lyrics for me are other lyrics, other artists. When I hear what they're capable of doing through my ears, I'm always blown away. Like when I hear another lyricist, another songwriter, another musician, I'm always fascinated. Like, wow, the words they found to express that thought or that feeling or that action and the way they put it together, I just love it. I love books too, for the same reason. I think I just love the language, and I love it so much in the way that you can take all the same letters of the alphabet, you can take a whole bunch of words, everybody's speaking the same ones, but the arrangement of them comes across so differently for every person. So a lot of the inspiration is from other music. A lot of it is from books, movies, and even everyday conversations. I listen to the way people speak and express themselves, and sometimes I'll take something that I hear. It might be a phrase that people repeat in different scenarios, and I'll use those sorts of things. I know a line's worth keeping when it feels right. Sometimes it can look good on paper, but then to speak it out doesn't feel right. It's like putting on a jacket that's a size too small for you or something. You can wear it, but it's not comfortable. And then when you find that one that just fits, you know it's your piece. And I'm the same with writing. Sometimes I'll write something trying to express what I'm trying to get out, and it works in theory, but then when I'm saying it or when I'm singing it, it doesn't sit right. It's like that jacket's just a bit tight or just a bit too loose. And so that's when I know it needs some work. It needs refining. And sometimes it just needs time to think it through, or to just let it go, come back to it fresh and reevaluate then, because sometimes space is the best thing for clarity. Once I'm saying it back and it feels like it's coming organically from me, and I know it's a keeper.
Cyclone City, when the whirlwind comes and it rolls and it blows into town.